So you're thinking about moving to Pensacola, Florida? Well, you know what? You're not alone. With its beautiful beaches, great job market, and affordable cost of living, more and more people are making the move. But before you pack your bags, I'm gonna walk you through 6 essential steps to make your move as smooth as possible. Let's get started. All right, so we are standing at Palafox Pier. We're right at the edge, right at the end of downtown Palafox Street. Such a beautiful area, such a beautiful day. I said, you know what, let's go do a video to help people understand what it's like to move here, and let's try to make it as easy as possible. So we have 6 steps. Number 1 is you gotta choose the right neighborhood. What is the right neighborhood? I mean, we have a lot of great communities in this area, but you know what? You wanna be in East Hill, Cordova Park, Beulah, Perdido Key, Pace, Milton. There's so many great suburbs to the area. I think that's the number 1 thing, is you gotta choose the right neighborhood. And what is the right neighborhood? Hey, are you looking for school district or something maybe a little bit closer to work? But hey, having the right neighborhood is gonna be your number 1 thing. So you got downtown Pensacola. If you love walkable lifestyle, restaurants, nightlife, events, something close to downtown is definitely the place to be. You have East Hill, you have Cordova Park. You know, these areas offer charming homes. You have especially in East Hill, you have kind of those older homes, you know, like where we live in a, 100-year-old craftsman. You just don't see that in a lot of parts of the country. So really, really cool. And then you got Cordova Park, bigger lots, a lot more ranch style homes, but a great area, great schools, and a strong community vibe. Let's say you want to get out in the country a little bit more. You got Beulah and you have Cantonment, right? These are just little suburbs right outside of Pensacola on the north side. Seen some other videos. Beulah, northwest part of town. Great, it's growing. That's where the home of Navy Federal. Lots of great restaurants, shopping that are really going on up in that Beulah area. And if you're looking for that new construction, homes with bigger yards and quieter surroundings, Beulah and Cantonment might be the area for you. Now, but hey, what about Perdido Key? I love the Key. Perdido is wonderful. West side of town, if you want to hit up Orange Beach, you're just a quick drive or a boat ride right to Orange Beach. Now it's a little bit of a, I want to say, a little bit more of a beachy feel, right? Kind of things will get done when they get done, even though this whole area is a little bit slower paced, but Perdido Key is actually a little bit slower paced than Pensacola. But those are just a couple ideas for you to choose the right neighborhood for your number 1 thing. Okay, so the second thing that we're going to talk about is really just understanding the cost of living here. Housing prices, what's it like at the gas pump, the grocery store, the movies, any kind of entertainment spots, right? Well, Pensacola is one of the most affordable coastal cities in Florida, but you should still plan your budget, right? What is the kind of the price that you're looking at to spend on housing? You could definitely find a house here for $200,000. You could find a house for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, depends on how much money you want to spend, right? But also, if you're looking to rent, our rent prices are crazy. I think if you can actually qualify for a loan or be able to purchase, I think that's so much better than renting. But then on the flip side of that, you have utility, you have insurance, you have taxes, those types of things, and even though I was actually reading an article about this, that Florida has some of the lowest property taxes, but we're actually very high compared to when you actually look at things. We're looking at about a 0.8%, close to 1% for property tax. So you got to take that into consideration, but hey, we don't have any state income tax. So that kind of weighs out, right? But what are your everyday expenses, like your gas, your groceries, dining out? Can you go find, a burger for a couple bucks? I don't think you can find that anywhere nowadays, but we do have a lot of great options when it comes to, entertaining. But when it comes to places like Miami, Tampa, we're definitely not going to have as many. But when it comes to groceries, the price of eggs and milk and things like that, I think we are much lower than a lot of the bigger cities. But it is one of those really important things for you to understand, is what is the cost of living here compared to a city like Tampa or Miami or Orlando, things like that. I'll tell you, when it comes to transportation, getting around, it's so much easier here. Our airport is such a quick location. I was in Tampa last week, or I was actually in Orlando, not Tampa. Getting from the airport to my hotel, was a 45-minute Uber ride, and it wasn't cheap. Right here, you got the airport. No matter where you're at, you're within a 15-20 minute Uber ride from the airport, which is really, really nice. And when it comes to affordability, those are the things I look at just from traveling. But understanding the cost of living is super, super important. Remember that we love helping people relocate, right? So if you have any questions about relocating to the area, we'd love to make sure we answer your questions. And you know what? Outside this past week, we are dropping videos every Wednesday that's going to help you understand what it's like to live, sleep, eat, vacation, party here along the Panhandle. So make sure you tune in, hit the subscribe button, the bell, do all that kind of stuff. I think the third thing about moving here is obviously having a job or transferring your business. I'll tell you, Pensacola has a lot of entrepreneurs. There's been a lot of things that have grown here, from tattoo shops, spas, real estate, restaurants, chefs, things like that. But also being able to find a job obviously is going to be really, really important. Now, so what do? I'll tell you, the military is very, very active here, right? We have quite a few bases in the area. So are you military, or can you get a job on base? As a civilian, if you can get a job on base as a civilian, a lot of opportunity there. What about healthcare? We have some of the best healthcare. You have Baptist, you have Ascension Sacred Heart. They've just built the new Baptist. You have West Florida Hospital. You have some of the best surgeons. So if you are in the medical field, you have a lot of great opportunity in the healthcare field. Or what about education? We have a lot of great schools, but then also on the collegiate level, you have the University of West Florida, and then you also have Pensacola State College that's here in the area. So if you're looking to get into education, there's definitely some opportunity here in the area. And then also tourism. We're in one of, I think we have some of the best beaches in the world. And so we have a lot of people that come here. And you're probably one of them. You were probably a tourist, and now you're thinking about moving here because you love how awesome this place was. So if you are looking to get into some kind of tourism, retail, there might even be some remote work opportunities, but you have hotels, you have restaurants, you have a lot of different activities for tourists. And if you're bringing a business here, check out, there's a lot of great local networking groups and small business resources that you should tap into. But obviously finding a job or transferring your business is really, really important. So I think the next step of really helping you move to the area is navigating the weather, right? So you want to make sure when you are moving here that it's not peak hurricane season. It might make a little bit harder and a little bit more stressful of a move if you're coming here during hurricane season. So you definitely want to navigate the weather. And if you are moving here during the summertime, know what it's like to experience a hurricane. Be prepared for that. Have a plan if something does happen, and make sure you have your insurance in place, everything like that, because it's super, super important. Make sure you're looking at flood zones. Make sure if you are working with an agent that they're doing those things for you to help. Hey, is there a flood zone? And if we're not in a flood zone, can we get flood insurance? What's the cost? What's the benefit? All that kind of stuff. But if you are moving here, shoot, we just had snow. We had like 9 inches of snow a couple weeks ago. Now, who would have known that? Who would have been able to plan for that? You wouldn't have been able to, because that was like once in 100-year snowfall that we received. But I think if I'm going to be moving here during hurricane season, so especially someone like me that was moving here from the West Coast, I had no idea what hurricane season was about. And so being prepared, and if you are going to be moving here during those times, is just making sure you have a plan. So make sure you're looking at what time of the year you're coming, because also we get dark really quick, really early when daylight savings time is off. So it gets dark at like 4 o'clock. So if you're moving here, be ready to unload your truck in the dark at 5 o'clock. So remember, if you have any questions about anything about moving here, we'd love to help you out. 850-637-8622. All right, so the next step in making sure your move to Pensacola is flawless is making sure you get all your utilities and everything set up. Driver's license, right? Like understanding, hey, where is the DMV? Making sure that you get all that set up. Get your driver's license. That way you could get all of your other stuff set up. But your power company is Florida Power and Light. Water company could be ECUA, which is Emerald Coast Utility Authority, could be Pensacola Water. You also got internet, you know, Cox, AT&T, all that kind of stuff. But making sure that your utilities are all set up, but also going through, you know, because in Arizona, you go to the DMV. Here, it could be a little bit different. It was called Scott Lunsford's. Now it's called something else, but that's where you're gonna go. It's where you're gonna get your driver's license. You're gonna do all that stuff. So make sure, do all those things to help your move even more flawless.